Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Today we shall move to the next chapter, a new chapter, and this chapter is one of the most important chapters in your book. Why we consider it the most important one? Of course, all your chapters are important. All of them are important. We talked about different topics. We talked about semantics, we talked about pragmatics, we talked about discourse analysis, first language acquisition, but today we shall talk about foreign language learning. Foreign language learning. Look, we are talking now about learning, not acquisition. يعني, we are going to talk how we teach a foreign language. How we teach a foreign language. In Iraq, we have English as a foreign language, right? So, in other words, how do we teach English at primary schools, at middle schools? You know, middle schools, يعني متوسطات. As at high schools. And since you are going to be teachers in the future, hopefully, وحتى اللي يقول no, I am not going to be a teacher, but we are at the College of Education. We are responsible for qualifying you as English teachers. You are supposed to be English teachers. That's why the information which we are going to talk about in this chapter is very important for you. Is very important for you. Last year, when you were third year students, I am sure you talked about this topic في مادة المناهج. You talked about this topic, and I am sure the teacher or teachers who taught you that topic were very great in displaying the topic and displaying the material. But in your fourth year, also you need to go back to some information. Some of them are new for you, some are not. Okay, so hopefully you make use of the explanation or the presentation I am going to present, and I want you to pay careful attention to the topic. Pay careful attention to the topic. As I said, it is very necessary. You see, the title of the chapter is Foreign Second Language Learning, وفي بعض الكتب كاتبين Learning and Acquisition. First of all, we need to make a distinction. We need to make a distinction between or among some terms. Terminology is very important in this topic. Terminology and مصطلحات, which we are going to talk about in this topic, are very necessary for us. For example, now we have acquisition and we have learning. Acquisition versus learning. What is the difference? I think when I talked about first language acquisition, when I talked about child language, I told you with first language we use the verb acquire and the noun is acquisition. We use the verb acquire and the noun acquisition. This is with first language because the process is acquisition. With second or foreign language, we use the verb learn or the noun learning. Now we are talking about learning, not acquisition, because the two processes اللي هما acquisition and learning are different. And I'm going to talk about this difference many times during the presentation of this chapter. The processes are not similar. يعني language acquisition is different from language learning. You remember in our last chapter we talked about the critical period. You remember this critical period? And we said it declines at the age between 12 and 13, if you remember this. This is with first language. But with the second language acquisition, with foreign language acquisition, the process is continuous. And the process of learning is continuous. شلون continuous? Okay. Now, at what age you begin to learn English as a foreign language? يمكن انتم at the age of 8 اعتقد. Now some schools start at the age of 6. يعني أول ما يدخل الطفل المدرسة they begin to teach him English, right? Until the age of 18. Until the age of 18. من يوصل للسادس إعدادي he or she is 18 years old, right? And now when you go to college after this age and you spend 4 years راح يصير المجموع قد 22, you still learn English. So you start from the age of 6 until 22. Then we are talking about a process which is beyond the critical period. We are talking about a process which is beyond the critical period. The critical period is concerned with first language acquisition. With foreign language learning, second language learning, we have a sort of inherent ability in acquiring languages. Some people have the ability to learn a foreign language. Of course, better than other people. وهذا موضوع ثاني يعني ما there is no need to mention this now, but this is something different. Okay, another term we need to clarify. Another term نشوف هنا وين خليتها أنا. Okay, we have the difference between foreign language and second language. ليش قلنا at the beginning of the chapter foreign language and second language. الآن عرفنا what is the difference between learning and acquisition. So now what is the difference between foreign language and second language? لاحظوا قلنا foreign وقلنا second. Actually وانطينا مثال خلينا نرجع لها. English in India and English in Iraq. Now, is English in Iraq a second language or a foreign language? Is English in India a second language or a foreign language? This is very important in order to know the difference. First of all, نعرف احنا second language, by the way, second language is almost first language. Why? Why is this? Why we say so? Because when we compare between English in India and English in Iraq, we will see the following. Now, in Iraq, when you use English, do you use it outside your home? When you go for shopping, do you use English? Huh? Do you use English when you talk or you speak to your friends? You are learners of English, right? You are studying at which department? Department of English, College of Education for Human Sciences. يعني you are specialized in English. أنتم متخصصين في اللغة الإنجليزية. Now, do you use English outside your classrooms? The answer is no. And this is a big no. يعني although you are specialized in English language, but you never ever use your English for everyday life communication. You never use your English for everyday life communication. That's why English in Iraq is, we call it foreign. It is used by you inside the classrooms, by some university students inside the classrooms, by some engineers, by some doctors, right? الأطباء مشهورين باستخدام اللغة الإنجليزية. By some engineers, they use certain terms, by the way, in English. Not they speak in English, but they use terms, certain terms, right? But look at India, look at English in India. They use it for everyday life communication. They use it among themselves when they talk to their friends. When they talk to their friends, they use English. When they go shopping, they use English. When they communicate with other people, they use English. طبعا الهند ليش انطيناها مثال؟ Because it is a special case. It is a special case. It is believed that in India there are about 600 languages. يقال حتى أكثر. So how could those people talk to each other and one another? How could they talk to one another and to each other? They had to learn English as a second language. And as I said, second language is almost a first language because it is used widely in everyday life communication. It is used widely, broadly in everyday life communication. Now go to India and you will see people are talking in English most of the time, although they have a mother tongue. Although they have a mother language or a mother tongue. إذا صار عندي mother tongue first language يعني هي وعندي second language where I have foreign language. Mother tongue or first language is the language that I acquire from childhood. I acquire from childhood from my environment, whether at my family or with uh, friends, sisters, brothers. This is first language. It is acquired from the environment. In a process, we call it last time innate capacity. We have a sort of innate capacity. It is not imitation. حكينا عن هذا الموضوع وأيضا راح نكرره. It is not a matter of imitation. وراح نشوف هذا الكلام is applied now in this chapter. Okay, and we have second language as the case of India, and we have a foreign language as the case of English in Iraq, in Egypt, in Syria, in Saudi Arabia, in Kuwait. English here is used as a foreign language, not as a second language. Okay. You remember again in our first chapter, we talked about this. We talked about the acquisition barriers. You know barriers, عوائق يعني. Are there barriers for acquisition? Yes. أهم شيء هو there should be contact with the language. هاي نحكي على first language in our last lecture. There should be contact between you and the language. And we gave the example of Jenny. You remember your friend Jenny, right? So this is as far as first language. This is as far as the first language. There should be contact, and there is a critical period. There is a critical. ليش صارت هاي critical period? Because at this critical period, children acquire language. يعني at the age of 12 and 13 بعد ما يحتاجون language acquisition device. What they acquired is enough. What they acquired is enough. But with the foreign language, things are different. Look at this. I'm going to read. Despite the fact that insufficient time, focus, and incentive undermine many L2 learning attempts, there are some individuals who seem to be able to overcome the difficulties and develop an ability to use the L2 quite effectively, though not usually sounding like a native speaker. What is meant by this? Actually, we are talking about two different processes. We are talking about learning and acquisition. Acquisition حكينا عنه. قلنا there should be language contact, there should be contact with the foreign language, and there should be critical period, suitable critical period. But with the foreign language, things are different. قلنا هنا critical period, there is no critical period because we start from the age of 6 to the age of 22. في كل دول العالم هو هذا التعليم، يبدي من 5 أو 6 until 22 أو 21 في بعض الدول اللي بيها نظام مقررات، يعني الكليات 3 سنوات تصير أو 3 ونص. Okay. But we see that some learners are very good at learning a foreign language, and other learners look very poor. مو صحيح؟ Some learners are very good in acquiring foreign language, in learning a foreign language, and some learners have a very poor ability. يعني اكو ناس تتعلم اكو ناس ما تتعلم. Why is this? Why is this? طبعا this is a topic which is very wide. A topic which is very wide. لكن يدخلنا في موضوع آخر احنا ما راح نشرح عنه، فقط حتى نعرف اللي هو multiple intelligences. Multiple intelligences يعني الذكاء ليس واحد وإنما متعدد. So you see, somebody is good at foreign language, somebody is good at music, somebody is good at mathematics, somebody is good at administration. والذكاء يتوزع بهاي الطريقة. So not everyone can learn a foreign language. But as a rule, can we learn a foreign language? Yes, of course, we all can learn a foreign language. But there are differences. There are differences between Mr. X and Mr. Y. يعني X, Y أشخاص هيجي لعنتين. There are differences. Some people are good, as I said, in learning a foreign language. Some still poor. وقلنا major part of it is the lack of the suitable multiple intelligence. يعني اكو واحد اهتماماته موسيقيه خلينا نقول او رياضيات، انت تاخذه وتعلمه لغه، this is bad, this is wrong. فشوف وين يبدا تروح توديه المفروض على هذا هو ملخص المالتيبل انتليجنسز. لكن يعني احنا ما نشرح حاليا خارج الموضوع. لكن also in foreign language there must be contact with the foreign language, contact with the culture of the foreign language, right? You know culture, ثقافة اللغة الأجنبية. That's why if you want to learn a foreign language, you should learn that language in its culture. Culture actually is like a container, كونتينر حاويه يعني تروح الواحد تطلب منه فشي يعطيك اياه، مثلا يخلي لك اياه بطاسه، يخلي لك اياه بقلاص، يخلي لك اياه بكيس بعلاقه. This is culture. هاي هو الحاويه. culture. So if we want to learn a language, we should learn that language in direct contact. وهذا المبدأ راح نشوفه يتطبق بعدين بالدايركت ميثود، نجي نشرحها next time, next lecture. There should be direct contact with the foreign language within its culture. within its culture. وتلاحظون احنا يعني حتى المتداول بيناتنا، تقول له مثلا انا مو قوي بالانجليزي بس وديني مثلا 6 اشهر البريطاني واظل احكي انجليزي. مو هذا الكلام نتداوله يعني دائما وابدا. In the past, in the present and in the future we say this: take me to the UK and I can learn language and I can be a good speaker of the language. Why is this? ليش عندك هذا belief? Why do you have this belief? Because you are very sure that when you go there, to the UK, you are going to be in contact not only with the foreign language, but with the culture of that language. With the culture of that language. So we cannot learn a foreign language unless this language is put in its suitable culture. And there must be contact. الcontact منين نجيبه؟ Now we are in Iraq. You have your teachers, right, who speak English with you. Now we have TVs, we have internet. يعني إذا نقارنها بالماضي مثلا قبل يعني بالسبعينات الثمانينات حتى بالتسعينات، يمكن الشخص العراقي بالأسبوع يشوف له فيلم أجنبي واحد. right. شنو هاي؟ Now thanks to the internet you have full access. You have full access to the foreign language. Full access. اطلاع تام on the foreign language. Now how many movies can you watch every day? Or can you see, not watch حتى إذا ما تراقب يعني بس تشوف. Many. How many TV series? Many. How many TV shows برامج in English? You have many. You have قلنا an access to the YouTube where you can watch different teachers from different parts of the world who can speak English with you. So you have the ability to develop your language by contact to that language, where by the culture of that language. Language without culture cannot be learned. يعني مع الأسف تشوف أكو كثير من طلاب الأول أول ما يجون الثاني وحتى بالرابع أو حتى بالثالث مرات تصير حكي والله الأستاذ الفلاني يحكي بالإنجليزي. هاي موجودة عندنا بالقسم. Yes, they have to speak in English because you are a student at the Department of English. You are not a student of mathematics. You are not a student of biology. You are a student of English. And English as a foreign language cannot be learned unless it is put in a suitable culture. That's why we teach you, for example, literature. واحد يقول شنو أهمية ليش ندرس literature? Yes, because literature is culture. Literature is culture. You are dealing with old literature and modern literature. Modern الآن احنا في القرن ال21. We have modern literature from the 20th century and 21st century. So you need to have access to English as it is used in its culture. And then قلنا contact وقلنا culture, and there must be a suitable teaching method. شلون ندرس الإنجليزية احنا؟ نجي وندرسها؟ No. And I am sure last year في مادة المنهج you studied this. You studied or you have studied different types of teaching methods. So if I want to teach English to you, I should choose a suitable teaching methods. احنا بالعراق تكون مفروضة علينا من الوزارة يعني، لكن still we are talking about the communicative approach which is good. هاي بعدين راح ناخذها واحد واحد. So there must be a suitable teaching method that is familiar or suitable to your needs. الآن do your needs at the Department of English similar to the needs of the College of Engineering? ها؟ حاجات الطلاب from the English language at your department, are they similar to the needs of students of engineering? No, of course they are different. Students of medicine? No, of course they are different. So always when you choose a suitable method, you have to take into consideration the needs of the learner. The needs of the learner. Otherwise, you are going to be lost. English is a very wide topic. English as a language is a very wide topic. What are you going to teach? احنا بقسمنا ندرس أدب, but at the College of Medicine we do not teach English literature, for example, because the needs are different. وما دام عرضنا للمصطلحات, let's talk about the word skills. وهاي بعدين نرجع لها. You know skills اللي هي المهارات. In foreign language learning we have 4 skills, and they should be arranged like this. They should be arranged like this: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Always they should be arranged like this. هذا ترتيبها ما يصير يتغير. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. واحد يقول ليش ما يصير يتغير؟ Because this is similar to the way children acquire language. قلنا first they listen. You remember تذكرون لما قلنا you click your finger so that the child is listening to you. Then they begin to speak. Then when they go to school, they begin to read and write. So always the skills are like this. هذه الskills. أما الجرامر والfluency والvocabulary, they are not skills, they are sub-skills. They are, we call them components of skills. Components, مكونات of skills. Because when you listen, you need grammar. When you speak, you need grammar. When you read, you need grammar. When you write, you need grammar. So grammar is a component, not a skill, not a major skill. Okay. Also, let's talk about تمر بينا هاي الكلمات: approach, method, and technique. What is the difference among them? What is the difference among them? Approach actually represents the theoretical background. The theoretical background. يعني the theory or group of theories, combination of theories. قلنا بعدين لما ناخذ التيتشنج methods راح نحكي عليها بالتفصيل. لكن now we need to know the main difference or main differences. By approach we mean theories or a collection of theories, or not only theories but principles. ممكن كاتبينها يمكن هنا. Yes, theories and principles. ممكن يكون principles, you know principles, مبادئ, while theories نظريات. If we apply these theories in reality, كلمة apply لاحظوا حتى من يعني بالعربي نقول تطبيق. If you apply these theories, these principles, now you are talking about method or methods. إذن المethod هو تطبيق. Application of what? Of theories and principles. Of theories and principles. إذن عندي approach اللي يتضمن methods and principles. I apply them and this is called method تطبيق. لذلك راح تجي تمر بينا كلها are called methods ما عدا ال communicative approach ونشرح بعدين ليش we call it approach. وعندي الكلمة الثالثة هي technique. إذا approach باختصار عرفنا شنو method and technique. Technique is the following: everything the teacher does inside the classroom is called a technique. Everything, every activity is done. طبعا عندنا activities وعندنا strategies لكن مو موضوعنا هذا. Every activity done inside the classroom by the teacher is called a technique. مثلا نعطيكم مثال. We have a principle that says the following: make your classroom relaxed. Make your classroom relax, or make your learners motivated. Motivate your learners. You know motivate يحفزهم يعني. لكن how can I make my classroom relaxed? How can I motivate my classroom? هذا الأمر متروك to the teacher. It is left to the teacher. I may use a technique, you may use a technique, somebody else may use a different technique. I may use songs, for example, الأغاني التعليمية نقصد بها وليس الأغاني العادية. I may use riddles, songs, games, right? Riddles, حزورات. Even these songs, riddles and games are different from one teacher to another. إذن هي المبدأ يقول لي use relaxation, use motivation. لكن شلون؟ ما يقول لي. So it is up to me. It is up to me as a teacher to choose the suitable technique inside the classroom to make my classroom relaxed and motivated. I think now it is clear the difference between approach and method and technique. وتلاحظون we are talking about method, about application of an approach, application of theories and principles. That's why this branch of linguistics is called applied linguistics. احنا الآن في فرع من اللغة is called applied linguistics, علم اللغة التطبيقي. Why we call it applied? Because we apply principles and techniques in methods or in reality. We choose a principle, we choose a technique taken from psychology or from linguistics. هاي أحكي عنها الأسبوع القادم. These principles and technique are taken from linguistics, theoretical linguistics اللي هو علم اللغة النظري, or from psychology. نجيبها ونطبقها in the field of language teaching or in the field of foreign language teaching or foreign language teaching and learning. Foreign language teaching and learning. نطبقها in this field. ولذلك this field, this chapter is part of what is called applied linguistics, علم اللغة التطبيقي. Okay, so hopefully things are clear. We will continue next time. See you next time.